This program is brought to you by UCKG.
Yes, my friend, turn on the light because this evening we're going to shine light on a very nice testimony. Our guest is going to surprise you. Maybe you're going to be surprised at what you're going to hear this evening. And if you know a person, if you know this person, if you know a person sometimes like this, many times you're surprised when we hear the news, when we hear what happened. And this story tonight is going to really shock you. What she has been through, how she has lived, how she has been living, and how her life is transformed. We're going to be here in our studio this evening, and I'm sure that this story is going to help you. Stay with us. Finding Answers is coming up. Good evening, my dear friend. Welcome to Finding Answers. This evening on our program, we are speaking about how faith can help you after personal circumstances. Sometimes things that were out of your control has turned your life upside down. Can faith really help you to turn things around? Maybe you are that person that from childhood you have known yourself to be sad. Maybe you have seen your parents living a certain kind of life. Maybe there are circumstances that happen in your life that didn't have anything to do with you, but for some way, for some reason, it affected you. And then it's like your life took a nosedive. Well, we are here this evening, and our live guest that is going to be here sharing with us is going to share her story, how faith changed her life, turn around her situation. Because there are things that Pastor Neil, we're here this evening with Pastor Neil.
Yes.
Good evening, Pastor Neil.
Good evening.
You know, there are certain things at certain times happens in people's life that is completely out of their control. And it turns the life of the person, let's say, upside down.
Yeah.
And then the person, what can I do? Some people, when they face situation like this, they just give up completely.
Some even plan to even commit suicide.
They think about suicide. Our guest is going to share her experience, her story. They think about suicide, or they just leave whatever life comes. They just go ahead. Maybe you are this person that is watching us now and you are living a life, reckless, just going, just doing whatever comes, just, getting involved. Sometimes a lifestyle that is reckless and you say, what can I do? This is what life served me. Like some people say, this is the hand that life served me. I have to play whatever life gives me. Well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to live this kind of life. Through faith, your life and your situation can change. And we are here in Finding Answers to show you that it is possible. That's why our guest is going to be here and she's going to share. Because from an early age, she had this experience. She had things that were out of her control. And interesting things that no one knew what was going on in her life. And also this program is going to help you that you are a parent, to identify when things are not going right. And you that you have people around you in your school, that workplace, is going to also help you. That's why I would like you even to share the link of this program. Send someone a message and invite them to watch, because maybe you even have that slight, let's say a suspicion that something is not right. But when you ask people, how are they? Normally people, especially people who are strange, I'm fine, I'm good. They speak, they dress, they appear, because sometimes, Pastor Neil, nobody wants to expose what is going on.
Let's say like this, they cover up the suffering.
They cover.
Yeah.
They hide sometimes from even people who are close to them, who are supposed to be, be able to help them. And we're not saying, my friend, that you are going to walk and tell everybody your problem. You're going to walk and make a sign and put over your face, oh, I'm suffering, I'm this. I'm not saying that. But I mean people that are close to you, people that wants to help you. Maybe you have had this experience where you suspect that something was wrong with someone, you approach them, you try to help them, and then they build that wall, they put on that facade, that pretense, and then only later on you realize, you hear or you see what happened, and then you say, but if I could do something, sometimes you even feel bad. Sometimes you even feel bad, it's like you didn't do enough. But what else could you have done? We are here tonight in Finding Answers to tell you, my friend, that there is a way out. And all you have to do, if you are this kind of person that needs the help, if you are this kind of person that you really need help, so pick up the phone and give us a call. Someone is there at the end of the line to get you, to answer you, to speak to you. 020-7686-6300. 020-7686-6300. Or you can send us an email, help@findinganswers.tv. If you'd like to find more programs that we have recorded previously that were shown, you can go to our Facebook page, you can go to YouTube page, just type Finding Answers. You're going to find previous program that you can watch. Always there are testimonies of people that managed to overcome various situations and their life has been transformed. Okay? So we are going to go now and you are going to watch this testimony. A very nice testimony of someone that had their life transformed, and we're going to come back.
There were several bad moments. I used to attack my husband. He hit me and then I retaliated. Since then, every time he got angry, I got even angrier. I attacked him with a knife, baseball bat, alcohol bottle, anything that came to hand. We were both alcoholics, but he wouldn't admit it and I didn't recognize it. And also when I was told at the hospital that my blood problem was incurable, that's the one that got me down. It dawned on me that it wasn't helping the children, so I left. I left my husband. My mother's side of the family, my family, they were alcoholics. They drank a lot, every day. Well, coming from an alcoholic family, it seemed normal. So when I started drinking, it didn't seem abnormal. Then I got involved with an alcoholic man, and it just grew from there. It didn't seem abnormal. I didn't realize there was something wrong. It's just that I just couldn't give up. I'd try. I'd stop drinking for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month, but then I'll go back. There was something inside of me that would make me go back. Well, I did try to get help. I saw a psychiatrist because I had problems in my mind, and I spent money, thousands of pounds, getting help from people like tarot card readers and other people who would charge you £1,000 at a time to help, but nothing helped. My leg swelled up and it was very painful. I couldn't walk. Then I went to my GP and my GP sent me to the hospital straight away. When I got there, they did an X-ray and found out that I had blood clots in my leg and it was dangerous. I just wanted to stop drinking. They didn't connect alcohol with this problem I had, so they couldn't find out why, even though I had several tests, they couldn't find out why I had this problem. And I was very young at the time. It was an elderly person's problem. Well, my son invited me to come to a help center. And when I came, things just started happening. It didn't all the problems I have didn't go away at once, but bit by bit, one by one, all the problems I came with started leaving. It took about 6 weeks. I used to come to the help center and then go to the pub. And then it was brought to my attention that that was wrong, so I stopped. I've never gone back, and that's 20 years ago. Well, it depends on the person. If the person wants help, and if they're coming to the help center, it means that they need help and they want help. So yes, it can happen to anyone. You have to use your faith. And faith that I found, it's doing what you're supposed to do. Yes, exercising your faith means to do what you're supposed to do, what you need to do to change things. Well, I came to the help center and they taught me what I needed to do so that God could help me. I followed the instructions they gave and it really did help me. I no longer have an alcohol problem. I'm no longer aggressive. Deep inside, I'm happy, truly happy. The smile on my face comes from really being happy on the inside. I have a very good relationship with my son and my family. And my health is good also.
Well, this is exactly what we are talking about, Pastor Neil.
Yes.
People's life can change. Faith can change things.
It can. And many, what happens, sometimes when they find themselves in that situation, they says, I wonder. But faith is so strong, Pastor Rema, that whatever it attacks, it fixes it.
Can overcome. There's no way. My dear friend, listen to me. There's no problem If you are that person that you think like this, I have done everything, I have tried everything.
Many people they like to say that.
Basically, you are saying that your problem is impossible. Your problem is bigger than faith, it's more powerful, more than God. But tell me the truth, if you believe in God, and even if you don't believe in God, but faith you have, can you say that your problem is bigger than? No, there must be a way, there must be a solution. Maybe you didn't find the right solution, you didn't find the right way yet, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there is. And our live guest is going to be sharing her story with you tonight. What I would like you to do, my dear friend, send us your questions. You know that in our section, your questions, we're answering your questions. So tonight, if there's a question that is on your mind, if there's something that is bothering you, something that you would like to clarify, something that you would like to get another perspective, maybe you already have your opinion formed, but it's like something is not matching, something is not adding up. So why not, unburden? Send us your questions, and we're going to aim to answer as honestly and as openly as possible through our experience and what we believe. We're going to be sharing with you, and I believe it is going to help you, as that's been helping a lot of people. Don't forget that you can connect with us on Facebook as well. Search there, Finding Answers, on our social media, on Twitter. You can search. We have various social media.
Yes.
Where people
Facebook,
can get in touch personally.
Yes, because nowadays, Pastor Rema, what controls the world is social media. Is you want to send a link in seconds, you can send. So use what you have, and you are going to receive results.
Yes, speaking about social media, maybe this person, the only friends that they have is on social media.
Yeah.
There are people that their friend, their circle is social media.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time on social media. They spend a lot of ways. So you can share the link of someone. Maybe you know that person that is always on the phone, always on the internet. They don't socialize much. And it's interesting that they call it social, no? But they don't socialize much with people. And they're always there. Send them this link, because this program tonight is going to help a lot. We're going to come back and we're going to be interviewing our live guest in Finding Answers. Stay with us. So welcome back to Finding Answers. Like we said in the beginning, maybe you are going to be shocked by this story that you're going to hear tonight, but always life has pleasant surprises. Surprises, some are pleasant, some are not so pleasant. Our live guest tonight has a very pleasant surprise for you, because her life changed. And you that you are going through situation tonight, you that you are facing difficulty, or you that you have people to deal with that you don't know what's going on in their life, or you try to help them and it seems impossible, her story is going to inspire you. So you felt Chinonso, right?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
I'm very good, thank you.
Well, this evening you're good, you're smiling, you're happy.
Yes.
So it was not always like that.
No.
How was life before? Describe for us, because we spoke that you are going to surprise people, because maybe even now people are watching you, people that know, maybe they're going to be surprised at what you're going to say, right?
I think so.
You think so? How was your life before? What was going on?
So before, I was very unhappy. I think I was unhappy for as long as I can remember. I don't remember being happy once in my life up until recently. I was always tired. It was very hard for me to get out of bed in the mornings. It was very hard for me to find motivation to do anything. And I never understood why. I was always feeling very alone, even though I was surrounded by loads of friends, loads of family. I could never open up to them about what was really going on. And at times it would get my sadness, this weight would be on my shoulders. It would get so bad that I'd just stay in my room for the whole day. I live with my family, I live with my mum, my sister, but I didn't speak to them. I'd just stay in my bed or go downstairs to the kitchen to eat and then go back to my bed. Yeah.
And this is as long as you can remember. From what age did it start?
My sadness, when I was a child, I guess, because I think it started with my parents, because my dad was very abusive when I was young, so a lot of my childhood was very violent. I became used to seeing lots of violence when I was young, so I was unhappy as a child.
Just physical violence.
Yeah,
between
physical
your parents.
violence. So I was very scared of my dad because he would threaten us, like both me and my sister and my mom, and it just wasn't very good. But then around the age of 7 or so, he left my mom, and I guess that was a good thing, but we were still a broken family. We were still left to pick up the pieces of a destroyed marriage, basically, and that was hard.
So let's say you grew up seeing violence.
Yes.
That was a part of your life. And then at 7, when it was supposed to, let's say, some people think that it's going to change for the better. So now the source or the person that was instigating most of this violence left. But it wasn't such a happy new beginning for you, right? It's like a different phase now, but still no happiness.
No happiness. And I think it was particularly bad then because I didn't like to tell people about what was going on at home. So I'd always felt like I had a secret to hide. And that was when I started to hide from other people, hide a part of myself, who I really am, I suppose, from the world. And I remember I had an addiction to pornography. That's when it started at 7, very young. And I had to have this image of, I'm an innocent child when I was not innocent at all. And I had that throughout my youth, like for as long as I can remember.
Did anyone know about that?
No.
You kept everything?
Kept everything. And that, as long as, that including my unhappiness, all the other things that were going on in my life, I didn't tell anybody. And that's my story. So
that from 7 years old, so let's say your teenage years now, high school or secondary school, what went on there?
So I went to boarding school because the area that I grew up in was quite rough. So my mum said, I don't want you growing up around here. I want you to have a good opportunity, a good education. So she sent both me and my sister away. And I guess I was very rebellious at school. I know I looked like the model student. I was very smart as well. I studied very hard. I had got good grades, so everyone saw me as a model student, but I was very rebellious. So I'd go out drinking with my friends. We'd go to town, we'd drink, we'd smoke, we'd do all kinds of things. And no one would, like, again, with the whole secret keeping, I wouldn't tell anyone. I was very good at keeping it a secret and maintaining a whole image of I'm perfect and innocent.
So even your sister would know about that?
My sister knew about the drinking because we were in the same school, but other things she didn't know. Boyfriends that I had, I would always cheat on my boyfriends. I could never be faithful. I guess because I was always very unhappy. I was looking constantly
for something to fulfill you.
And it never did, never.
Well, my dear friend, you can see, maybe you are familiar with this story because maybe this is the story of your life, or maybe you see people are living this story. But we are here to tell you that there is a way out. Things can really change because she's going to still tell more things that has been going on in her life. And if you know someone, or if you have someone that is close to you that is living like this, tell them to join us, my friend, because Chinonso, this was, just a part of it, right?
Yeah.
So you spoke about feeling suicidal.
Yeah.
When did that come in?
So I think it started around the age of 16, 17. So again, I'd been feeling very down for a long time, and I was doing well in school. I was getting places, but I was still feeling very empty. And I had started to self-harm because I didn't want to kill myself yet. It wasn't in my mind yet, but I wanted to cope with this void that I felt. So I would cut myself, and that went on for, I think, 4 years.
4 years. So these marks on your arms are from this self-harming.
Yeah.
Chinonso, you were close to you were living with your family, with your sister. Did anyone ever notice things like this on you?
No. No. Again, I don't know how I did it. Sometimes my sister would ask me, what's that on your arm? But I'd say, I fell. And she'd say, okay. She'd believe me.
Everyone would just believe whatever you say. So you went through like this.
Yeah.
You were a good, how can I say, a good show person. Huh?
Yeah.
You know how to hide everything. So you were suicidal. You started from 16, right?
16.
And you did that for how long?
16 until 20, I would say, because I noticed that if I keep on self-harming, like actually cutting myself, many people would notice. I won't be able to hide it so much. So I decided to self-harm in other ways. So I would strangle myself, or I would starve myself, do things like that, other things to harm myself without other people seeing. And yeah.
So when did the suicidal thought really come in?
They came in my final year of university. I had some thoughts like before, but they weren't as severe as this time, because I had been studying for a long time. I'd always been a good student, but this time, whenever I studied, I would always fail. I'd always do badly. And that translated to everything in my life. It didn't matter how hard I worked or how much I wanted something, it never happened. It never came to me. And at that time, my studies were the only thing I had. I would say my studies were the only thing that were going well in my life. And when they started to go badly, my life fell apart, really fell apart. So I would say, what's the point in living if everything I tried to do failed?
So did you try to get help? Did you try to get any professional help?
I did think about it, but because I was never used to opening up about my problems, about who I really was, because I was always hiding a secret, always had a secret to hide. It was very hard for me to open up to anyone.
See, Pastor Neil, we always advise people in this program to get help,
Yeah.
professional help. The government have many help. And there are many, the police also, people can call the police, can get advice.
Yeah.
But for example, in a case like Chinonso, nobody knows what she's going through. She lives with people that they have no idea of what is going on in her
As we
life.
said at the beginning, there are people, they are good at covering the suffering, covering that, and put that image. And Pastor Rima, there are many people, maybe this person that is watching right now is going through problems, love life problems, financial problem. Maybe this person is in a big debt, but outside they put on this face as if they're millionaire.
And you see, the interesting thing is that she said one thing was going well, was
Yeah.
going good. And that when that one thing is about to fail, it's like the whole world is about to collapse. And
Yeah.
sometimes you see people doing well. She's a good athlete, she's a good this, she studied well, she does well. Maybe that's the only thing that this person is living by. And maybe you are watching us, you are hanging by one thread. And if that one thread break, you are going to be lost. Well, Chinonso, I would like you to think about what was one of the worst, the lowest point in your life. Because, wait, think about it. You are going to be sharing with us, you're going to be sharing with our listeners when we come back from this break. You have been through many things, so your whole life has been a life of sadness, suicidal thoughts, feeling depressed, a lot of things, self-harming, which is very common nowadays. I want you to think about one of the lowest point in your life. One of those days that it was like, it was like there was no point anymore, because you're going to share with us, and then you're going to share with us how you managed to turn things around, because I'm sure that everything changed. Okay? We are going to take a break. And when we come back, Chinonso is going to share with us what was one of the lowest point in her life, and also how she managed to change things around. Stay with us. So welcome back to Finding Answers. We're here in our studio with Chinonso that I told you is going to be a real surprise, because when you look at her today, you have no idea that this was her past, that has anything to do with her past. And she smiles and she speaks. And she's even in TV speaking about this openly, which is, the people that were with her didn't know, but now she's on TV speaking about what she experienced, which is very remarkable, Chinonso, because you are on national TV, you are speaking to the world. Soon we're going to have this program on YouTube, on internet. People are going to be able to watch and re-watch and watch again. So, Chinonso, what was one of the worst point, one of the lowest point in your life?
So one of the worst periods of my life was when I applied for a course and I didn't get in. So this university that I applied to rejected me, and I had spent a lot of time planning my life around this because I really thought I was going to go there, but it just didn't work out. And I remember when I got this rejection from the university, I felt very lost. I thought, well, what am I going to do? Because now I have a whole year and I have no plans that I've made, I have no money saved. What can I do? I remember around that time there were loads of parties going on that my friends were throwing. So I would be going there, I'd be drinking a lot because I was a heavy drinker around that time. And it was very low for me. I remember I lived behind a park, and in that time I'd always go for walks around this park, and I would go through this park and I'd look at the trees and I'd look at them and say, oh, which tree would be best for me to hang myself from, because I didn't want to live.
That was how low you reached.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Chinons, when you were, for example, you were going for these walks around the park, what would you say to your family when you are leaving the house?
I would tell my mom I'm just going for a walk.
And
because
it would just
she
be like a normal walk.
Yeah, because she knew that I was very active. I love being outside. Like, I like outdoors, but I would go for walks and I'd just cry and cry, go around the park again and again, just very, very unhappy. And I guess whenever I tell people a little bit about it, I'd tell them as a joke, I'd laugh about it, because to kind of hide the reality of it, and they'd laugh with me. They wouldn't see how serious the situation.
Nobody would take you seriously. This situation was serious. So like when you go to this party, what kind of person were you?
I was very loud, very
the life of
crazy,
the party,
crazy.
The party.
I mean, I've always liked dancing since I was young, but the parties in combination with the alcohol, the drugs that I use, it was a way for me to release anything that I'm holding inside. I would always release, I'd always go crazy. I'd always be the girl who drank too much and went crazy. That was me.
Yeah, this is exactly what happens a lot, Pastor.
Yes.
And so, you see, normally people look at this kind of person. No, she's the one.
Yeah.
She's doing well in school. She's educated. She's this. She's that. And people normally look at this kind of person and think that no, he's strong. Sometimes when people have children like this, they think, no, my daughter knows what she wants. Sometimes they even feel a kind of pride because they're like this. But only you knew what was going on inside.
Exactly.
And this is what we're saying to you, my dear friend. Maybe you are like this. People are looking up to you. People are admiring you. People are following you on social media and whatever. And then you are there. Everybody looks and sees a certain image of you. But now, at 11 o'clock in the night or minutes after 11, you are there. If you are watching us now, what's going on in your head? What's going on in your life? When you lie down to sleep, what happens? And that's what we're saying to you. Your life cannot stay like this. You cannot lead people on like this. She was going through a lot of things and no one knows. But today you are knowing that behind this kind of behavior, behind this kind of hype, behind this kind of pretense, there was an emptiness. But this emptiness is filled today, right?
Yes, it is.
How did you change? How did faith help you to change your situation?
Everything changed when I was invited to a youth group, and this youth group was connected to a place of faith. So I didn't know what I was getting into when I first went. I didn't like the youth group at all. I didn't believe that I connected with anyone there, but for some reason I stayed. I guess because I felt very desperate, and I was always searching for something, and I thought maybe this could be it. So I stayed there, and through the sessions that they held at the youth group, I was able to learn what faith is and how to use my faith. I remember before I came to the youth group, I thought I had faith, but I thought I believed in God, but I believed that God didn't want us to be happy. I believed that, if you suffer, it's fine. You just have to deal with it.
So you thought God was behind your suffering?
I thought You know, everyone has different kind of sufferings that they need to go through. It's just a part of life. You just need to deal with it and then die, and that's it. But then when I came to my youth group, I realized, well, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to believe in God and have this faith and your life not change and your life still be in suffering. And that was the big thing that changed for me. That changed everything for me, actually.
Well, Chinonso, that is what we call an intelligent faith. Because it's easy to think, okay, since God is over everything, God is in charge of everything, so if I'm suffering, God is in charge of my suffering. It's easy to think like that. We can even understand where people get this kind of idea from, because God is over everything. So if people are suffering, God is over their suffering also. But then when you get to understand who God is and what God is about, then, like she said, it doesn't match anymore, it doesn't fit anymore, because you realize that something is not right. She started to apply her faith with intelligence. And this intelligent faith, when you apply it, when you realize, no, if God is so great, God is so powerful, if God is so wise, then something is missing. So, Chinonso, you start to apply this intelligent faith in your life. And how did it change? What was the first thing that changed inside of you?
Sleepless nights, honestly. Because I always had problems with sleeping. Whenever I slept, I'd have nightmares, or I would just stay up all night. I'd go a few days without sleeping. It was strange. But when I came to the youth group, that was the first thing I noticed, because it surprised me. I could sleep, and I was shocked. I was very happy.
Yes.
Because I hadn't been able to sleep for years, but now I could sleep. And that was just the beginning. After, when I found out I could sleep, I thought, okay, I could be happy then. So then next happened, I was no longer depressed. This weight that was on my shoulders for as long as I can remember was gone. And it happened so quickly that I didn't even realize it had gone. I was so used to having such a negative mind that when I was faced with positivity, I questioned, wow, what's going on? Why are my thoughts so different? But it was a good difference.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting, Pastor, because today she's smiling. But how many people they are like that? You know, it's like they become so accustomed to, and I know, because since you was a child, when you are used to something, you are used to it. When you are born and grow up, and that is what you are used to.
Exactly. The people, they even program their lives just to suffer. I'm used to this way I'm going to die like this. There's no solution, but she got solution through faith.
But you see, one thing she said, deep down inside of her, she was looking for something. And that is important, because you that you are watching us now, you are looking for something. This search, this desire that you have inside of you is called faith. This, maybe you dismiss everything, you dismiss everybody, you close yourself, but deep down there's something that says you want something more. That's why you're watching this program. That's why you're here with us now. And Chinonso, you found the answer finally, right?
Yes, I did. And you know, it's funny, sometimes when I'm alone, I think about my life, how it was before, and I think now, and I just cry tears of joy.
No more tears of sorrow.
I used to cry myself to sleep. Now I cry tears of joy, like real tears. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And you see, you are here to share with others, to tell people about your story. You're not ashamed of sharing. This is wonderful. So, Chinonso, if you can say one thing to this person that is watching us now, that maybe is going through a similar situation like you, or maybe has family member who is going through a situation like you, even though you didn't speak about this to your family, you didn't open up to them, but I'm sure they must have had some kind of suspicion, because your daughter doesn't go out, or maybe she goes out only in the night, or I'm sure that they must have, but they might think, for example, what do you think your mother thought about you when you were, did she think you were a good daughter? What do you think she thought about you?
Yeah, she did. I asked her, I said, do you remember when I used to stay in my room all the time? And she said, oh yeah, when you were studying, right?
She thought you were studying.
She thought I was studying.
So she thought you were going, imagine, this one has an encyclopedia in the head. So, Chinonso, what can you say to this mother now that has a child like you? Or what can you say to a teenager that is going through a similar, maybe teenager, older person, doesn't matter. What can you say to this person that is watching us now?
I would say sincerity. So be sincere with yourself and how you feel, who you really are and your situation. You have to just look at who you are for who you really are and be sincere with that feeling that you have or the questions you have inside you. Like, you know that your life isn't supposed to be this way. You know that you're empty and you don't have to live your life like that. You can pursue your emptiness, like look for the answer, keep looking for it, and you will find the answer, if you know what I mean.
They're in finding answers. It's not surprising that they're in finding answers tonight, because you see, there is a question mark. It's interesting. You said there's a question mark. Some people say, but I choose to drink. I choose to go to the party. I can do whatever I want to do with my life. My friend, I'm not speaking to you that you decide to live your life the way that you want. That there is a question mark. Can it change? Can it be better? Can there be a difference? Yes, there can be a difference. Give us a call right now, 020-7686-6300. Send us an email, help@findinganswers. So my dear friend, after this break, we are going to be answering your questions and we're going to be making a special prayer for you, because your life also, like Chinonso's life, can change. You're going to be able to share your story with us very soon. We'll be back after this break.
There's a saying that says, ask, and it will be given. When you send your questions, we are going to answer you, because this is finding answers. And tonight, Pastor Rema, we have one question. What's the question?
Let's check out our question there and answer. What is the difference between spirituality, faith, and being religious? Are they all the same thing? Or can you have one without the other? It's from Hannah in Nottingham. Well, Hannah, let me be as honest and open with you as possible. When we speak about faith, people normally immediately just mix everything. Religion, everything together. But I can say to you that faith is a gift, is a power that God put inside of every human being. Yes, everyone, if the person is religious or not, they have faith. Faith everyone has. What you do with it is another thing. You can choose to put it in the Word of God. You can choose to put it in something else. You can choose to put it in yourself, in other people. Many people do different things with their faith. But God gives us faith so that we can connect with Him. And of course, we do that through His Word. So when we decide to use our intelligence, and Pastor Neil or Chinonso spoke something very important about using, thinking, reasoning, which is spiritual. To be spiritual is to use reasoning, is to think, is to use your intelligence. So when you use your faith, connect with your intelligence, then you are going to be able to find God through His Word, and then your life is going to change.
As she says, sorry to cut you, Chinonso says, I believe that there was a God, but I thought that this God is the one that makes me to suffer. But when I learn about the real faith, how to use it, so it doesn't add up.
Exactly. And this has nothing to do with religion, because many religions teach people that they have to suffer. Even glorify the suffering as if the more you suffer, the more holy you are, the more righteous you are, the more close you are to God, which doesn't make sense. So we can understand, my dear friend, that you have faith. You can be a spiritual person when you apply your intelligence, but please, don't be religious.
No.
Religion doesn't help anyone. And when you decide to use your faith, apply it in the Word of God. Seek for a way that you are going to be able to apply, to understand the Word of God. You are going to be able to overcome, and your life is going to change. I hope that this helps you a lot. And if you'd like, if you have more questions, or if you'd like to speak to us, to speak to me, to Pastor Neil, you'd like to speak to us, send us an email, help@findinganswers.tv, or pick up the phone, call 020-7686-6300. We are going to be able to reply to you and connect with you and help you even further. All right? I hope this has helped you. We're going to be making a prayer for you now in our section where we pray. We're going to use our faith. We're going to put what we have, connecting with what you have. Even if your faith is small, maybe you say, I don't have much faith. I'm not a religious person. Praise God if you're not a religious person, because at least the little faith that you have is going to be able to shine. It's going to be able to make a big impact in your life when we join together in this section where we're going to pray for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So, my dear friend, in this section, we're going to be making a prayer for you. And when we talk about prayer, we're talking about a tool of faith. Is a way for us to use the faith that God has given to you and to me. All of us, we have our measure of faith. The Bible speaks about a measure of faith, which God put inside of us that can help out in any situation. We just need to know how to channel it, how to make it work for us. Like Chinonso discovered Pastor Neil. Was a discovery that she made. Even though, you see, she said she went to the youth group. She didn't like.
Yeah, but
her feelings didn't get connected because obviously she's used to one different kind of environment of partying. So sometimes the feelings may not even connect. Yeah, maybe the feelings, the environment that you are used to, the way that you are used to doing things may not be the same. But my dear friend, you cannot expect to do the same thing and get different results. I think it was Einstein or someone who said, foolishness is to do the same thing and expect different results. Was it Einstein? Something was one of those scientists. You do the same thing over and over, and you are going to get the same result. There's no way.
No.
But the moment that you do something different, you decide to make a change, you are going to be able to see a difference in your life. So the prayer that you're going to make, maybe it's a different environment that you're going to. Maybe you have been praying already, but maybe the way that you have been praying, what you have been praying for, the way that you have been praying. Maybe you have been praying to a God that you believe is making you suffer. It's really difficult to pray to someone who you think, oh, this person is inflicting me. For what? If he's God and he decides to make you suffer, then come on, why are you going to pray to him to stop? If he wanted to stop, he would have stopped. But you see, when you get to understand that God doesn't want you to suffer, then you seek his direction, you seek his help, then you are going to be able to overcome. So that's why we're going to be praying. And I would like you to watch this testimony. One more testimony of faith, of someone who used their faith, who used intelligence, who apply what they learned, and their life has been transformed. Watch this testimony, and when we come back, we're going to be praying for you.
Well, the situation that I faced in my love life, which actually made me feel really guilty, when the person has made you feel all along that, no, it's your fault, it's your fault. So because this was being told to me by my ex-husband so many times, there were times when I was being blamed for his work, something that happened at work. I was being blamed for his grandmother dying. I was being blamed for everything. With everything else that was happening, I was also being beaten up. It was being drilled basically in my head that it was my fault. And I started to believe that it was my fault. Even the beating, I just thought, well, maybe I did something wrong. Did I answer back? Did I do something? Did I say something? I was there, I was, giving him the attention, cooking, cleaning, washing, everything basically. As far as I was concerned, I was doing my duty as a wife. I couldn't forgive myself. I was carrying the blame for so many years. And carrying guilt is such a heavy burden. It is such a heavy burden, to carry so much guilt inside of you for so many years. It made me feel bad. It made me feel worthless. It made me feel sad. It made me feel, am I this really horrible person? I started to attend all these meetings to do with Love Life. And I started talking to other people there that went through the same situation as I did. Because as I was hearing what they went through, I started to think, but you didn't deserve that. So now, taking that for myself now, I started to think, well, neither did I. People started telling me, this is not your fault. And being in the therapy of love, being in the love talk, it helped me. It helped me to understand myself. It helped me to start, believing in myself and think, well, no, this was never your fault. It wasn't my fault that he was drinking. It wasn't my fault that he was beating me up. I didn't do anything for him to treat me in the way that he was treating me. From there, from everything that I was hearing and, what was being said in one of those like love talk meeting and the therapy of love, I started to heal within. I started to heal inside, where before I was really, my inside was just ripped, was just so wounded. Yeah, it made a lot of sense afterwards, yes. If someone was to ask me, Maria, are you ready now to go into another relationship? I've been ready a long time to move on.
Wow, Pastor Neil, you see what we are speaking about. Faith can change any situation.
Anything at all. It doesn't matter what the person is going through, faith can bring results for this person.
And that's why we're going to join our faith now to pray with you and on your behalf. Don't worry, even if you say, I don't know how to pray, I don't know what is that. Just join us now and expect something to happen. Expect a change. A difference is going to be inside of you and you are going to see it. Stay with us, we are going to be praying now.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer concerning your family and loved ones, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Father, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, I join my faith with this person that is here with us. Maybe today this person is hearing that their life can change for the first time. Maybe this person had the mentality that they cannot come out of the situation that they are in. Maybe this person thought that you, my God, was putting them through what they're going through. But today you're opening the mind, the eyes of this person for them to realize. And they are joining us now in this prayer, expecting something, expecting a change, expecting a difference. And my God, I pray that you may start inside of this person, that there will be a difference inside of them. There will be this weight that they're carrying, this desire for suicide, this desire to self-harm. Maybe it's the only way they know to relieve what they have inside of them. Desire for drinking, for smoking, for going out. Maybe this person is full of anger, aggression. Maybe this person is full of things that they don't understand why they have been behaving like that, why they have been reacting like that towards their husband, their wife, towards their children, towards people around them. But my God, I pray that you may come and shine your light on this person, inside of them, so that there will be a difference. The mind of this person will become clear. They will be able to see that they don't have to remain like that. And then that will be the beginning of the change in their life. Those who cannot sleep, let them sleep. Those who are sick with an incurable disease, my God, let the healing appear for them. Those who are down, depressed, let this person be relieved, my God, so that they can see that their faith, because they have faith. And once they use it, this faith is effective. So right now I minister to this person that is in need, that is expecting something. This person that is full of bills, full of debts. This person that was rejected from their job, that was rejected from the course, that feel like their life doesn't have any more reason to live. So my God, give this person reason, give this person hope, give this person strength, so that your name will be glorified. I bless this listener, I bless this viewer, wherever they might be listening to this program right now. I'm sure that your mighty hand will reach out and touch them, and there's going to be a difference in their life. There's going to be a difference in this house. There's going to be a difference inside of this person for your honor and for your glory. I thank you very much already, because I'm sure this person is going to share their story, is going to share their testimony. Tonight is not going to be one more night. They're going to sleep like never before, and they're going to wake up tomorrow to go about their day in a different way, in a different attitude, with a different expectation. In Jesus Christ's name, I bless you, my dear listener, and those who believe say amen. So there you have it, my dear friend. You are blessed. And I'm sure that your life, your story will never be the same as you have known it to be up to now. Pastor Neil, your final consideration for this person.
020-7686-6300 is the number for the solution that you're looking for.
You can give us a call anytime someone is there ready to get your call, and we are going to be in touch with you. All right? Until next time in Finding Answers, see you. God bless.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.